Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing this Demon Spawn Summoner of Ashen'Zari for Week 7 of the Crawl Sudden Death Challenge. And we just wrapped up Lair, so that went well, aside from the detour into Swamp, which didn't go well at all. And I think I'm just giving up on the 1 point bonus. Where is Orc? Is it on Dungeon 12, or are there I guess there's some parts of Dungeon 10 that I didn't finish exploring, so it could be there. But I'll head down to 12 before I go, fighting Thanar unnecessarily. Or perhaps necessarily, but... I feel the character is a lot stronger than last time we were here. Ooh, what's in here? Shadow creatures. Shadow creatures? Not as good as Monstrous Menagerie, but still. A higher level summoning spell to work with is pretty handy. So let's turn off summoning and get some spell casting, and we'll learn shadow creatures in a sec. Oh, and I have some scrolls to read, don't I? Read X, Holy Word, ow. Read E, Brand Weapon. I guess that's fine. Read L, Summoning. That was, the worst scroll of summoning in the world. But we didn't need any. Didn't need it to be good. It's just, remarkably weak. What else can I do here? I can drop my Scroll of Enchant Weapon. And my Curse Weapon. That seems fine. Okay, down we go. Killer Bees of little concern, I think. Wow. Stealth is only at 8. Come on, guys, wake up. Here's a bunch of orcs, so that could be the entrance to the Orcish Mines. Or it could not be. Good work, Lightning Spire. You are the real MVP. Why am I taking so much damage? The Orc Warrior, apparently. Oh, is that Orc? I don't know. Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit put upon here. What kind of trap is that? A teleport trap. That's interesting. Too many. Yeah, the Orc Priests supporting the Orc Warrior are a little bit harder than I expected. So we'll just rest here. But I gotta remember, that my armor is not actually that high. And neither is my evasion. My defenses are not that great. It's mostly my damage output that is pretty good. Between, this short sword and having some decent summons. It's not, unbelievably good, but it's pretty good. Which is why we can get away with having such poor defenses. Can we stab a Hydra? That's always fun. And, maybe we won't be able to. Let's see. Looks like no. Is this the Orc Warrior? Yeah, the Trident. And a large shield, goodness. Alright, well let's... There we go. That should help a lot. Yeah. What I really want is more Scrolls of Enchant Weapon, I think is the main, well, I mean, and I guess Scrolls of Blinking are the main things that I would like this character to find to improve my survivability. Or, well, just to improve, like, everything, I guess. The Scrolls of Blinking for survivability, the Scrolls of Enchant Weapon for the long term would be pretty great. I have Digging, but not Disintegration. All right. Because it would mean I can switch to using that Demon Trident of Electrocution, which is just so strong. But I don't think a +0 Demon Trident of Electrocution is, or +1 is as good as a +10 Short Sword. So I don't want to switch yet. Oh, let's learn Shadow Creatures. Yeah, so we get a bunch of orcs, which is kind of cool, I guess. Is that better than summoning wargs? Maybe. I don't know. But it will be better, like, in some later areas of the game. Should be, anyway. This orc is all disconnected. Yeah, I guess summoning a bunch of monsters with one spell is the main advantage right now, anyway, of Shadow Creatures. Is that it creates a whole bunch more chaff for enemies to focus on instead of doing damage to me. A glaive is interesting, but not, I guess not really, since we have a Demon Trident already. The glaive takes a lot more experience, and it does more damage, but it's not a lot more, and it's not electric, and it doesn't attack as quickly. So I don't think there's any world in which I start using a glaive on this character. I got one orc. What a crappy Shadow Creatures. Alright, this is actually pretty bad. With the orc priest, or orc, well, the orc knight buffing the other orcs, I was taking a lot more damage than I was really prepared for. So I'm going to go upstairs and rest a bit. And the Orc Knight all by himself is a little bit threatening, but not nearly so bad as with a bunch of other orcs. And he has like a great sword. That's a pretty cool weapon. But again, as like a summoner, I think I would rather just have a trident, demon trident. Come back, you stupid orc was pillar dancing me and he didn't even know I existed. How do we get in here? I want to get all this goodies, whatever that is. Have I found... I've found all the stairs up, so I guess we gotta go down and then back up. Alright, so that's one staircase. Try this. There's a staircase up, up. There it is, it's up this way. Ash is like wall hacks sometimes. I mean, literally always Ash is like wall hacks, but sometimes it's even like passive. And you just know where to go without your character just has this otherworldly knowledge of like, I would like to go this way now. How do you know? God told me. Alright, so did I actually pick up that loot already? Do I know what it was? No. We came down here instead. That's fine, I guess. Okay. Okay, this fight. Whoa. Oh no. Holy wrath. Holy cow. That's real bad. I'm a demon spawn. I gotta pay more attention to that. This is not good. I want to get stabs on this Orc Knight while he's distracted, and the Lightning Spire is doing a lot of damage to him. I don't think he's going to do more than 30 to me at once. But I guess he maybe could. So I should be more careful. What does caution look like here? Just a potion of curing? I think that's a reasonable level of caution to have. And the Orc Knight is dead. All right. Okay, so we wasted again, yeah, sort of in quotes, a potion of curing. But we have a lot of those, and that situation kind of got away from me. I didn't realize exactly what was doing so much damage to me. I have warnings set up when enemies come into view with like particularly frightening weapon types. But I don't actually have those set up for like Holy Wrath because I'm not really used to it being an issue. I don't know. It would be an Oclob plant? What? It would be a good idea to set that up to also work for Holy Wrath if you're playing an undead or unholy character. Oh, I see. No, we couldn't have just walked in here. What am I thinking? That this hole only comes out because I dug it out. All right, so there's an Oclob plant guarding some gold, and then we took it. Fine. And like I said, potions of curing, we've got a lot of them. It's fine to use one when you've made a mistake. We didn't have to use heal wounds, which is a more valuable, more limited resource. I hope to find a wand of heal wounds at some point, which together with all the recharging I have would give me almost unlimited healing. Not actually unlimited, of course, but a lot anyway. How? What? How do you get in there? There's no way in. Huh. There's like gold buried in the walls here? Is that a mistake or some sort of Easter egg for Ash followers? Doesn't really make sense. Okay. Well, Lightning Spire should do pretty good work in there. Yeah. Anything else? You know, a Wand of Fire would be pretty effective, but I don't think there's any particular need. Now, the Orc Knight. That is something I don't want to mess with. Yeah, so that wand was empty. If we had risked using it in the fight with the Thorn Hunter, it would have just been wasting a turn. Good to know. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that it would have been wrong to use it, but it certainly wouldn't have worked. I think it's important to distinguish between actions that were a bad idea and actions that would have worked out poorly. Because you have to act on imperfect information in crawl, and all you can really do is choose the action that, based on the information you have, is the best most of the time. And I think using the wand was not, you know, in that fight, I don't think it was the best action, you know, and we didn't take it, and I'm glad. And furthermore, it also would have worked out badly. But, like, let's say this Wand of Fire had a charge left. That means using it might have killed the Thorn Hunter, and then maybe it was the right, you know, the action that would have worked. But it's still, I think, the wrong action, and I do like to keep a distinction between successful and correct, I guess, are reasonable words for that. Let's stare down some of this stuff. Orc 4 is generally pretty dangerous, and earlier Orc has, this game, proved more dangerous than I really thought it would be. So that's evidence that I should be behaving more cautiously. Oh, did we ever figure out what was the deal with this stuff? Like, there's secret treasure vaults hidden in here. This is ridiculous. If there weren't so many of them, I would say, oh, you know, an escape hatch on Orc 4 will take you back up there. But it's just like a complete mess. Huh. We could dig some of it out, but it's probably just gold, right? I mean... And if there's some great stuff in our shops, hey, you know, maybe we will dig it out. Great stuff that we can't afford. Where is all the bad stuff going to be? All right, so I see a couple shops down here. So this is like the ending area. Yeah, all right, so this is the ogres one, right? Yeah. The Ogre Magi are the main threat here, as I recall. Which ones are they? Here we go. So, Paralyze and Confuse are the biggest dangers in here. I mean, the ogres still hit pretty hard. And so that's always a concern. But my goodness, there are a lot of ogres. I've never really, like, looked at all of them at once. Scrying helps with that and makes me realize just, like, how many of them there are. What did shadow creatures get us? A wolf or a warg, I'm not really sure which. Yeah, that lightning spire is going to be piling on a lot of damage. We've actually caught these guys in a choke point, which I think is fairly advantageous. If we didn't have summons, we wouldn't really be able to block them in like this. And they'd be able to surround us, and this choke point would not be so good. And it seems like that may actually happen anyway. Alright, what did we get here? A bunch of orcs. Alright. It's hard for me to see the red on the green, so I wasn't sure what I'd gotten. Ooh, what hurt there? The two-headed ogre hit me twice. But we're making a lot of headway here. If we have to back off, that's fine. You know, back off and try again would be all right. The second attempt will be pretty trivial if we do that. But it's looking like we'll be all right here without having to back off at all. Just poke all the ogres to death. And let's rest here before we charge in to go shopping. You know, this is still like kind of out in the open. Okay, that's interesting leather. Not much else here of interest. I don't know, I guess I'll put it on the shopping list. This is all not very good. That one's interesting. But I think that's about the only one. A ring of teleport can be useful for like doing abyss or something. But right now, we have a lot of sources of teleport, so I'm not too worried about that. And the thing about the ring of minus MP is that that's also health, but strength plus 6, dex plus 5 is a lot, so it's worth considering. Lamp of Fire is pretty good. Rod of Shadows is pretty good. Okay. So there's enough stuff on there that we could go broke buying it all. That's good to know. I'm not in love with buying all of it, but there are at least things that I would like to consider buying. Orc Sorcerer. Okay, well this looks like the last bastion of the orcs here. Just a couple of stragglers before we finish off orc. Yeah, all right. So that went pretty well. I'm happy to call that a video. It's been pretty short, but we cleared a whole branch, so I think that'll do just fine. Next time I think we'll go do the rest of the dungeon. We could do swamp. We're no longer quite so low level. I don't know. I don't want to ever do swamp. I have PTSD. But I guess we'll find out in the next episode. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.